All right, so I want to start, first of all, I haven't been doing this very well, but I do want to remember that the first step for Zentangle is always gratitude and appreciation. And I'm really thankful for the Zentangle community, the things that I've learned. I'm very grateful for the last project pack that came out because that was really cool. The way that it got you to think about different patterns and how you can use them and cool ways to just roll the dice and pick a pattern. And with that project pack 10, one of the things that was included with it was this book. And I have several pages finished. Not so far on this one. So these were spiral type tangles.
Okay, so Barbara, what I didn't understand is, when they were doing those pages, they just gave you a couple to get started and then you go finish filling up your page on your own?
Correct.
Okay.
You just fill it with things you like. They're just giving you suggestions, and you don't even have to do like this one with spirals. You don't have to do that. I mean, you can go through all of those videos and just fill your book, if you have the book, with what you want.
Right.
Do it a different way. But this one was supposed to be straight and curvy. These are borders. This is the original 20 that was on the little L5 card that comes with Zentangle introductory box. This one's not finished. These are supposed to be all crazy tangles. Fragments. This one was just left to your own imagination. So I was just throwing things in here, like this one says switch colors. This one you could put just ideas of ways to change up your patterns. That one's empty. This one was supposed to be tangulations and tangles with common strokes, which I didn't quite understand. And then another blank page. So what I did for you guys, if you don't have project pack, was I bought a pack of the icosahedron. I think I said it right. And so that would be one thing that would go in the pack. And then you could do your own little pages. And I printed these out. I made these up. And here is just 20 boxes, okay, with enough room to write the tangle names below it. And then this one
is borders,
would be for borders, and then down here you could write the name. So that Zentangle already had this thing that is a PDF, where if you named your pages or whatever, like in the booklet, it's L1, L2, L3, and you can put your tangle names down. But the other thing that you can do, remember in Victoria's class, she was having us put our little bijou 2x2 size patterns into these pocket pages. And if you have the pocket pages, then you can just number them and roll your dice.
Oh, yeah.
To pick one. So for my little Zentangle pack that I'm thinking about, you would get the patterns that I just showed you, where you could fill those in. And the other things, I think I showed you guys before, is I've been coloring tiles. So this one's a little bit big, but this is like 5 by 6. And there's cool things that you can do with the watercolored. This is a Zentangle
Oh, yeah, that's pretty.
that are watercolored. And I have a whole pack. Okay, the thing is, when I went to the Zentangle seminar, I bought a lot of supplies with the thought that I'd be able to make kits and sell them during my classes. And then lo and behold, with Con, we couldn't sell our materials. They wanted to purchase them at the school. And so I have a lot of stuff that I want to share. So let's kind of see if we can put all this in. There's the icosahedron, and I have been watercoloring my Zendangles. And these colors don't look real good on my screen, but they're really beautiful colors. There's that. And these,
But see, that'll be good though, Barbara, because for those of us who don't want to watercolor, but yet still we want to try it.
right.
Yeah.
And this is actually one that is pre-strung. Can you kind of see the lines on there? So you can follow those, or just like any string that you put onto a tile, you don't have to follow the string. So I did that. I've done a few in different colors in the bigger sizes. So,
Oh, yeah.
and I will send you guys, you know, an idea of how that's going to work. The other thing that I have is I bought a couple of packs of the 3Zs that are pre-strung, and maybe you can tell this one's a little bit off. But if you see each one, there's 6 of each one. And when you put them together, I don't know if you can see, they actually meet up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You tell that? The patterns match. So you can tangle those and then put them together.
And I love to see those that people have done and they've been posting. Those are neat.
Right. Okay, where else did my stuff go? Okay, the other thing I want to include in the pack is I bought just a lot of books that we were going to use for found poetry, and then we didn't get to do that in class. So basically you take a book, this one happens to be from a poem, and then you go through and find words that might make another sentence, or you can just tangle. One of the things that I wanted to do with us is one of these found poetry classes, so that would be included. I have lots of pages. This is from a book that was printed in 1909.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it has some little things down on the bottom. Some are just poems, but you can include those little images that they have as part of your Zentangle. So let me see what else. Oh, the buttons. The buttons. Okay, so this is a reset button, and this one's pocket size. And you can do it on any size tile. I've done it on a Zentangle. And I think, Loretta, you ended up with some of these, right?
Yeah, I have too.
So you tangle on your tile, and then you add the button in the middle and actually sew it on. And the thought is you hold it, take 10 deep breaths, and then repeat as needed. And that's your reset button.
Oh.
And for this one, since it was meant to be pocket, I actually put the little bit of lamination on top of it. So that's the other thing that would be in the pack, is some buttons. And they're really cool colors, as you can see. You see those?
Yeah.
Really cool. And then some of the bijou size to go with it. What was the other thing I had on the list? Oh, okay. I get all organized and then I get unorganized. An 01 pen and a micron pen. What else do I have on here? Okay. The wooden buttons, the Zentangle, a micron pen, a PN pen. I have a ton of these, so that would be in there. The 3Z tiles, the gray bijou tiles, and that's like this. And then the watercolor tiles that I've done. So I will send all that information out to you guys, and you can decide what you do and don't want, and we'll work it out.
Sounds good.
Oh, that sounded like fun. I had a lot of fun coloring this morning.
Do you have one of those, what do they call them, Cricut machines?
Cricut? Mhm.
Cricut. Is there any way you could get some circles for us?
Sure.
Because that's one thing I don't have, because I don't have a way of cutting them. Cutting them myself, they don't look so good.
Right. So you're saying the Zentangle size?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will get with each one of you individually to see what you think you want out of it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So the zoom in. There's two patterns I wanted to show you today. They're a lot of fun. And I don't know if you've seen either one. One is called Boulder Builder, and it's by Bunny Wright. And the other is Strutz, and that's by Sarah Fowler. And to start, we're gonna take our pencil and do our 4 dots, corner dots, and your border. And then along the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and go over that bottom border. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Oh, okay. That's my reminder to lock the meeting. Okay. And then basically what I'm going to do is make like a long box across there. We're going to build some boulders along the bottom. And I'm purposely making it a little bit wiggly because boulders are not perfectly straight. And then I'm just going to start building little bricks. And think about some of the old sites where they built walls made from rocks. They're not perfect sizes. They're not all the exact same length. And then with each time that I add one of those lines, I'm going to add a little bit of rounding or weighting there at the edge. Do some various sizes. And then I'm going to come up and start building another layer. And just like bricks, you don't have them meet right up to the other line. And kind of stay with me, don't get ahead, because we're going to do something fun with these. Okay, so I've moved up a little bit and I've got a space in here. And now we're going to add something to hold that brick up. And that's where the second tangle called struts is going to come in. So I'm going to put a little box here. With another little rectangle on top. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this brick down here. Okay. Now we're going to add our little strut. So that's how we're holding that one up. And then I'm going to bring a rectangle down this way and this way. And then divide this brick. So from here, we can build another layer of bricks. And I'm just playing with this, building a little wall, building boulders. This is almost like a building that's falling apart and we're trying to keep it together. And of course, you can just do a whole bunch of boulders. Let's see, I think I'm going to put my other strut over here. I don't go small. And then you can always go back in and fill each one of these little blocks with a little pattern if you wanted to. I have seen where some people have gone in and put little shadows as if there were marks like you would find on some of the old pattern or old buildings. And then to shade it, when you're ready, no rush. I'm just going to take the side of my graphite and very lightly, always doing the same area so you can, look, I do kind of like a little L on each one of these. And then take my tortillon and soften it. Oh, I had a lot of graphite. And this tortillon has a lot of graphite already on it, so I'm just using it. But I'm doing it on the same side on each one of these, so they all have the same basic shadow. When I went on a cruise with my sister a couple of years ago, one of the places we went to were some ancient areas. It wasn't the pyramids, but they had walls that were built like this. It's just fascinating to me how they were able to cut these rocks and stones and make them all fit together.
So have either of you ladies been tested for the COVID?
No,
Oh, but my husband was.
Yeah, I think probably Barbara, my sister, just sent us a message since we just all gathered for that funeral that probably we all need to go get tested and wait go 7 days and go get tested just to be on the safe side.
Have you, the test is very painful.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, to have that stuck up your nose.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, not fun. Like my son has been tested twice, but as far as I know, I haven't been exposed. I haven't had fever, haven't had any symptoms, and
But
I
see,
don't know,
that's the thing, and I think that's the thing they're saying is you may not show any symptoms, but who's to say that because you don't have any symptoms, you're still not exposing somebody else, which I guess is what they're saying.
but you know, part of it is, aren't they saying if you don't have any reason to be tested? Sometimes they don't
Recommend it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And
Because I know I called a couple of weeks probably before my mom passed because they were supposed to have a site in Lake City, but when I called the number, it gave Texas City and Pearland and other places, but they didn't have Lake City on the list.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know.
This is neat. I like this.
It's fun.
Let me put a date on it.
If you're done, we can just do some fun. Let's see, what is today, the 4th?
The 4th.
Right.
Zoom class with Barbara. Okay, Barbie, do me a favor and put the names back up there again so I can get the name. All right, thank you.
Sure. All right, so I thought maybe we would have fun with rolling the dice.
Okay.
Let's start with the border.
So we need to get another tile.
Yes. 15. Oh, that's a cool one. That one's just Shattuck. So I rolled the dice and I got a 15. So we're going to start with a new tile. Add your corner dots. And I'm going to make this one a straight border since I know I guess it doesn't have to be, but with Shattuck, it's generally straight. Is everyone familiar with Shattuck?
Just remind me.
Okay. So Shattuck basically can be done 2 different ways. So usually they're, you end up with kind of a double border like this. And you can do it, start with a diagonal and then just aura like this, and then turn, do another diagonal and aura. That's the original Shattuck pattern. So SHATTUCK. So then you put your next diagonal and then aura. Okay.
Mhm.
The other way you can do it is with a curve. So I could, this one always throws me off. Where did I put Stattuck again? Yeah. You start with a curve like this. So instead of a straight triangles, kind of like you're putting shark fins on here. And then you aura with that same curve. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and use my pen, darken my border. And then you can make this as fat or as thin as you would like. And one of the things you can do is like maybe use my pinky finger to come in and say I want it this big, just as a mark, which means I'm making mine kind of fat. I'm just drawing some little reference lines. Okay. And I'm going to do mine straight. You can always change colors as you go along. I have seen where some people will darken in every other one like this. Which makes it kind of cool.
I was doing the curve. What do you do with the curves when you come to the end of the line? Yeah.
Yeah, see, even mine's not gonna meet up exactly right. I was trying to decide what to do here also. Well, there's no mistakes, so I mean, I can't see what you're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me play with it a little bit here. So if I had the curve, I mean, you could just bring your line
To the end like that, and then
like that, and then just go ahead and, if that's the way you're going.
Barbara, push your towel up.
Thank you. You know, I used to always do my lines from left to right. And then someone mentioned that for them, it was easier to always pull the line toward them. And I've started doing that, and my lines are definitely more even and straight. And if you keep the line that you're R-ing, if you're right-handed and you keep that line to the left, then it's also a little bit easier to keep your lines distance about the same. On my YouTube channel, I have an introduction to Zentangle video now.
I watched it the other day.
What did you think? Was it okay?
Yes.
It was so funny because I started over like 4 or 5 times. I'd start laughing at myself. Had to start over. Get nervous and say the wrong thing. You know, I'm not talking to anybody, but I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I better do this right. But Victoria has a friend at College of the Mainland who isn't going to teach now, who wanted to learn Zentangle. So I thought, okay, go ahead and do an intro class. I totally did not do that right. Okay, no problem. Oh, maybe I did. You guys have to let me know when you're both ready for the next roll.
Well, if we don't finish, you can go ahead because I got one more row to do.
That's fine. I did mine so big, there's not a lot of room left in there. Yeah, I started doing that watercoloring this morning, and I looked down and I hadn't put gloves on, and my hands were just rainbow colors, so I had to clean up. And then I put gloves on.
Boy, I can get into a rhythm and they start looking good, and then I get out of the rhythm and everything goes nutso.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's not you, it's me.
Well, I mean, I hope I'm not rushing you. There's no rush. Some of these icosahedrons are really pretty.
What are you calling them?
Icosahedron.
Oh.
Can you see the colors on these?
Yeah, that is pretty.
Purple.
So is there no thought about that you should keep curves with curves or straights with curves or mix them or?
No, there's no rules. I mean, it's your art. It's how you want to make it. There's no mistakes. And, you know, just look at it. And if you think, well, I don't like how this turned out, then take the best of what you do like.
Uh-huh.
Use that next time.
Yeah.
In this one, in the booklet, if you look at that, there's some of my lines look straight and some of them look curved.
Uh-huh.
See on this? It doesn't really matter. So Loretta picked a page. We've done borders. There's spirals. That one's filled. There's L5. We could possibly do some of these crazy tangles. Fragments fit anywhere. Okay, so there's fragments or crazy L5.
Let's play with fragments.
Let's do it. Okay, let's play with some squares. Oh, well, that wasn't much of a row, but 8. Oh, can you see that one?
Uh-huh.
This one is
Okay.
So you want to do just one row of 8, or we could fill it. Let's start with one row. I'll tell you what, let's just fill this with fragments. I'm gonna go across. I'm gonna divide this into 4 rows. And then turn it and do the same thing. Okay, so this fragment, it starts out similar to bales, which is just putting these little half petals, half a kernel, whatever you want to call it, right inside. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then add kind of like a quarter moon. Fill it up. Okay. And then you just add auras. What I like about fragments is if you don't know what else to do and you just pick a fragment and fill in squares, then it's fun, because especially on one like this, you get to play with how that pattern works. If you do it exactly the same in each square, or if you mirror it. This one I'm going to flip it and put my dark spot down in this corner. The other thing, if you buy that Zen pack, I am going to take pictures of the pages that I've already done, and you'll get a copy of that too. You can spin on your own pages, spin on my pages, however you want to do it.
What's this fragment called?
This one is J6.
Oh,
So it's,
J.
yeah.
Okay.
So if you have the primer, I can't even write, J6.
Okay.
So I'm going to have all my dark area meet at the center here. Do either one of you have the primer? The
No.
primer?
Yes.
Okay. There's also, I think, at least one website out there that has different fragments. They don't show these, of course, because they're copyrighted, but there's a site out there called tanglelist.com, and he has a lot of really good resources on that website. Okay, so what do you think? You want to spin again for a different fragment?
Yes.
Okay. 20. And 20 is this one. which is W7. So for that one, all you're going to do is in that square, let's see, you're just going to make your little auras like this.
So
And
they
then-
all go the same direction.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you're going to add weighting or rounding at the end of each one of these. So again, that one is W7. And I'm doing mine just like I did on that other fragment. I'm turning my tile each time and doing the same thing, and it turning out to look like a
Flower.
big flower. You can add more or less rounding, however you want. I kind of goofed on this one, so trying to fix it. All right, next row. Oh. 7 is this one, A4 is the number in the book. And that one is just basically going to be, you're going to put an X in each box and then fill in one of them. And then with the others, you're going to add auras. So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting to see how that comes out. Let's go here. That came out cool. That's what we've used so far. All right, here comes the roll. 1. 1 is X7.
Oh, wow.
And that one starts with your square. And then you're going to put 2 curves in the middle. And then smoosh some little orbs in. And then darken that little area around them a little bit.
Like a pot of peas.
Yep, exactly, like peas in a pod, and then just R that on each side. Okay. And again, that one is X7. And depending on how you shift it, it'll make a big difference in how it looks in your. I think I'll do mine this way.
You know, all of these but one look related because they all have the auras.
I know, I was thinking the same thing.
The flower looks almost like I need to put in auras somehow.
It's like the oddball.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. It's fun to see how these fragments come together when you flip them in different ways. When I was at seminar, Rick Roberts was the one that taught fragments. And I can't remember which one he taught, but he picked a certain fragment and then he said, okay, try doing it this way and flip it this way and flip it that way. And then you end up with 4 different ways. Well, it wasn't. He did it 3 different ways and then he repeated it another time. He, you know, didn't. And I had to go back to my hotel room and work it until I got that thing to flip right. And I finally figured it out. In the Project Pack 10 videos, he also did the fragments, and he created a new fragment, so it doesn't have a number, but it was basically he did a square. I don't know if I can get this right. Yeah, and then he just, pretty sure he did auras that came down like this. And then then he was doing, I did it wrong. Actually, this is the one he did. New. And then he was working on something and ended up drawing it, I think, like this instead. So even Rick and Maria are human. So I'm going to start just adding some shading to my Stattuck. And where the lines meet.
Where the lines what?
Where the lines meet, like right here. Right here, I'm going to add a little bit.
Are you doing it on both sides or just one side?
Just one side. Where these lines come up and meet that line, I do it on the inside of that. If that makes sense. think I'm going to add a little bit of shading just on the outside of that inner box where we put our fragments. And soften it with your tortillon. So how you shade your inner one is going to depend on how you did your patterns. I don't know if you all did them exactly the same. For my flower, I'm just going to add some shading on the inside at the middle. For the peas in the pod, mine all met in the middle, so I'm going to shade there, and then I'm just going to shade the outsides. this one where mine kind of looked like petals, I'm just doing the outside of the petals. I think I'm gonna just add shadow on the border line,
On the what?
on the border.
Oh, okay.
Did you already shade your pinwheel?
No, wasn't sure what to do on that one. Waiting to see what it sings to me. I may just leave it the way it is. Did you do yours that way?
No, I just thought I missed you shading it.
No, I didn't. Mine is a gray tile, so I'm just going to see what happens if I add a little bit of light on each one of these, just for fun. I really enjoyed the gray tiles when they came out. Dorothy, you said you wanted some round tiles
Mm-hmm.
for the Zentangle size, right?
Right.
Okay, I'll get with you on
Okay.
colors and size, how many you want. I do have, like I say, some of the pre-strung. If you're interested in those, the pre-strung
Mm-hmm.
with watercolor that I've been doing. And I can also cut them out of the same
Oh, yeah.
paper. That's cool.
That white made it pop.
Yeah, it did.
And now I've shaded the pinwheel a little bit. It's been fun to go into the Mosaic app and see what people are doing with that project pack. They come up with some pretty cool ideas.
Oh. When you said if you buy one of those pocket packs, you get the videos with it?
From Zentangle,
Yeah.
the videos are free no matter what.
Oh, they are?
Yes. So if you go to the Zentangle YouTube channel, you can find all of the project packs all the way back to number 1.
Oh, okay.
And those are a good place to start. But if you want to look at Project Pack 10, yeah, they're all out there. It's finished. Cool. I'm going to stop the recording because I think we pretty much finished the tile.